Not this. Oh boy. Hi, welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot and we are ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just gay, here with some spicy mango and peach situation caffeination from a brand that we no longer sponsor, but we're gonna drink the rest of the stuff because I already paid for it.
And I'm Eris Envy, your punk rock hairy fairy all the way from York. And as the wise poet laureate Liza Minnelli once famously said, Deo.
Miza with an M, not Liza with an L, because Miza with an M goes not l. Great way to start the video.
Today we're drinking shut the fuck up phone. We're drinking ketchup.
Bitch, no. No. Bitch, no. I will stop this video. Anyway, this is a fun, cute little one-off situation. We're just gonna be talking about some rumored Drag Race things. We have a lot of things on the horizon as we've seen on the channel. We've got All Stars happening. We've got Canada's Drag Race coming. France is in full force and very popular, apparently. But we've got a few other things on the horizon. So we just wanted to talk about rumored casts and all that kind of stuff. We don't normally get into rumors here on camera. We talked about it a lot outside of this. But Eris and I said, fuck it. We're going to talk about some queens that are allegedly on some seasons that are happening very soon. With that said, everything in this video is alleged, fair use, all of that lovely, lovely stuff. So we're going to be talking about the cast rumors. This is the big rumor is for RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 8, which is allegedly going into filming pretty much any day now. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. We're also going to talk about the cast for Canada versus the World, which is going to be very fun and exciting and delightful. Mostly because Eris is here, we're going to talk about the cast for Drag Race UK season 4, which I'm also very excited about.
Cram jam and potato curry.
Very that. And we're going to wrap up with the season that just finished filming, and that is season 15 of Drag Race US. We have a lot of gals on that season. That season just finished filming as well. So we're going to talk about that as in addition. But yeah, so if you want to stick around for this, subscribe, like, share, stick around, grab some tea, grab whatever drinks or other things that you consume, and stick around. And also, before we start talking about everything, everything in this video is going to be a spoiler. So if you don't want spoilers on Drag Race, thank you so much for watching the first 4.5 minutes of this video, but please leave. Because we will be spilling all of the tea everywhere. We're going to be talking about all the things. Not necessarily elimination orders, but we're going to talk about the casts. So if you don't want that, go away.
As we say in the UK, fuck off.
Very that. And on that note, let's start with All Stars Season 8, allegedly going into filming here any day, as we said. As we talked about, Season 15 just finished wrapping. As we typically know with US seasons, they typically film the regular season and the All-Star season back-to-back, just so that way Rue and Michelle specifically are free for other things that are filming Usually it's a Down Under, it's a UK if there's anything else filming. We also know that shortly after filming for All Stars 8 concludes, Michelle will be headed to the UK to film season 2 of Queen of the Universe, which we do not have a cast for yet. When we do, we might talk about it. Hopefully it's better than the first season. That's all I'm going to say on that. But let's go ahead and start with All Stars 8. We have a speculative cast. There's no real definitive list. This is a list that I pulled from a YouTube channel called Unapologetically Honest. Their links will be below, as well as everybody who we're crediting in this video, because I'm not an asshole. So, well, I am sometimes, just not this current moment. So let's talk about this rumored cast list that I have. We'll talk, Eris has one as well, I think. We'll talk about that one.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Something along those lines. Let's alphabetically, we're going to start with Adore Cilantro.
Adore Cilantro.
Adore Cilantro.
Adore's on the list I have as well.
Yeah. I think it's time. I'm excited.
I see this as very likely.
Yes.
Adore was apparently asked to do All Stars 6 and got very far down the pipeline of it, having said yes, and then was told she couldn't do her talent, which I believe was going to be fire breathing.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and because of that, she was like, okay, I'm checking the fuck out. I really want to see Adore on a new season. Adore is lovable. Adore is very talented. And I think she makes great television.
Yeah. I completely agree. I don't know this to be 100% true, but I believe Serena Chacha was her replacement.
Makes sense.
I've heard either Serena or, kind of surprisingly, honestly, Akira C. Davenport were some of the people in that same slot. Akira makes a little bit more sense because of how much season 11 representation was on All Stars 6.
Yeah.
I could be very wrong, but those are the two names that I had heard as the person to fill in for
Adore Cilantro. As Jiggly Caliente famously said, who cancelled and you booked this gig?
Very that.
The answer was apparently Adore Cilantro.
Yes. Speaking of Jiggly, we decided to exclude Drag Race Philippines in this video because honestly, we're gonna get a cast announcement any day now. So there'll be a cast assessment coming shortly for Drag Race Philippines. We're not ignoring them. I'm excited for that franchise, but
it just saves an extra 30 minutes on this video when we could do a whole hour's worth of video dedicated to the Philippines.
Exactly. But yes, I'm very, very excited if and when Adore is on the season.
I hope so.
I'm hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful. And yeah, let's move to the next girl on my alleged list, and that is Alexis Michelle.
Alexis is on my list as well.
Mm-hmm. I love this pick because I love Alexis Michelle.
I also really like Alexis Michelle. I think Alexis is very talented, and I think the fans didn't really like her during her time in season 9, and the fans were just straight up shitty to her, mostly because of her being in the bottom on the episode where Valentina was eliminated. And unfortunately, Valentina's fans are themselves. and Alexis got shat on quite ferociously by the Drag Race fans. But I'm hoping to see Alexis back. And, Alexis isn't someone in my mind I could picture winning All Stars, but I'm confident that Alexis could do pretty well. I could see within the top 6 at least.
Yeah, I think Alexis is going to be, should she be on, I think Alexis is going to be one of those queens that either goes very early or makes it to the end. Because I feel like if and we also have to think of this as the social strategy game that is now RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, where if I could see Alexis ending up like some of the people that overplayed very early in their seasons.
Like Yara.
Like someone else I might mention later on this list alphabetically. But I could see Alexis overplaying the game because of maybe because of the way Jan played. I don't know if there will be any correlation between the way Alexis and Jan play.
I will say, if we do get Alexis this season, prepare for nice fucking wigs.
Right.
She has nice wigs.
She does.
I'm hopeful. And it would honestly be, I mean, for me, Alexis winning All Stars is unlikely, but it would be a gag to have another season 9 winner. Could you imagine? That would take it up to Sasha, Shay, Truck,
and Alexis. I just need Peppermint. Sadly, Peppermint's not on this list.
No.
Why y'all acting brand new? Who's after Peppermint?
Why are we not booking Peppermint for All Stars?
She's too damn busy.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her.
Sorry, RuPaul. She's got a career.
Very that. Next on my list, alphabetically, is the soft and supple Heidi N. Closet.
Soft and supple. See, Heidi's the one. Oh, sorry, Logan.
You go right ahead, honey.
Heidi is someone I could see taking the crown very easily.
Absolutely.
Just because of how beloved she is by the fans, and also the fact that World of Wonder love her because she is such a marketing magnet. I'm just praying they do a better promo look for her than this.
Some of these girls on this list need a redemption for just their promo look alone. Honestly.
Yeah. I remember when season 12's cast was announced, and I was like, I looked at Heidi, and I was like, oh, it's nice that they have an older black pageant queen on the season.
No.
I didn't realize she's in her 20s.
She's my age, I think.
And also, Heidi's entire makeup game has changed, as we saw, like, literally from the reunion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I'm pulling promo looks just for ease of access, if I'm being honest. But no, I honestly put Heidi into like the circle of the highly revered Drag Race queens, even though she was only on 2 seasons ago. Like, I equate her at this point with like Alaska, Latrice, Manila, Vanjie, Raja, like those names. Like Heidi and Vanjie are the 2 from like the modern Drag Race era that have really taken what they were given and just like ran with it. And I'm so happy to see that World of Wonder has been so supportive of Heidi, because she is one of my favorite queens to ever be on Drag Race. And we knew she was coming back at some point. I think this is a lovely time for her to come back.
Yeah, this is a better time than All Stars.
Than 6.
Because
she
I feel
was
like
asked for 6.
Yeah. I feel like she probably would have ended up in a similar position to Jan.
Yeah, I do agree. Because I believe there were about 3 or 4 season 12 girls that were asked
And
for.
and only
Uh,
and only Jan said yes. Oh,
I had heard it was Heidi, Gigi, and Crystal were all asked for say.
yeah. I don't see Krista. I don't see Gigi coming back anytime soon.
Well, Gigi's still transition. She's still mid transition, so
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see her for a minute. But
I also think her fashion career is a bit above Drag Race at the minute. Kind of like where Bimini is.
kind of also where Gottmik is. I feel like they're all kind of in that same boat. But we're gonna go to our first. Well, Adore was kind of a deep cut, but we've seen her fairly recently. We're gonna go next to a deep cut that makes me very, very happy. Should she be on? And that's Jaden Dior Fierce from season 7.
Oh, so Jada wasn't actually on my.
Oh,
Let me check. Actually, I don't believe Jada was on my list.
While you look this up,
No, Jada was not on my list, but I'm very happy with this.
I've been asking for Jaden Dior Fierce to come back on my television because she is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated drag race queens to ever be on any franchise of the show.
Amazing personality, great looks, in my opinion. For what the era was, because season 7 is in this weird period where Drag Race was going from it's okay just to wear a dress on the runway to if you don't wear a glittered costume sequined outfit, that is a metaphor on how capitalism is destroying our society. Michelle will call you basic and kick you in the dick.
Yeah.
So what Jaden was bringing back then was good for what it was, and I know she's even better now. Have we seen at DragCon the Minion dress?
Yes, of course we've seen the Minion dress.
Jaden Dior Fierce invented Minions. If the Minions are supposed to serve the most evil person on the planet at any given time, does that mean they should currently be working for RuPaul?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I want this cast to be real. Honestly, specifically and only for Jaden Dior Fierce. I'm going to be very honest in saying that. I just want her back on my television. She is a confessional queen. I honestly feel like had she waited a season and been on season 8, I think we see her in the top 4. I feel very confident in saying that.
Yeah, well, if season 8 had a actual like a size a cast of 14 rather than a cast of 12, maybe, but
yeah. Let's move on to another very exciting deep cut. Jessica Wild.
Jessica Wild.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I love that drink.
The chicken reemerges. I love her.
I love her so. Jessica was like the first Drag Race queen, along with someone else who might be on this list, or is at least on my list, that I was ever obsessed with, because season 2 was the first season I ever watched. Season 2 had one of the best casts of all time, and I just don't feel like we talk about it. But in early season, there really are like no flops. I'm trying to think who's Raven. But over then, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, somewhat unrelated, but James, who formerly known as Tyra San Charles, has apparently been making Facebook statuses about doing a return to drag or some kind of costuming work for just in celebration of Beyonce's Renaissance album.
I'll work. Honestly, sure. I'm here for it. Like, good for him. I'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But I'd also love to. I mean, we all kind of knew when Jessica was, for some reason, and this is no shade because I love her, but for some reason, a lip sync assassin on All Star 6. We all kind of figured one thing or another.
I always thought of Jessica as a lip sync assassin. I mean, granted, on the one lip sync she had on season 2 was not great, but
I still think she won that lip sync, in my opinion.
But if you've ever seen videos of Jessica performing at Showgirls West Hollywood, I believe it's called,
yeah,
or Mickey's West Hollywood, she bucks. She really does. So
if she gets a challenge win, watch out.
Oh.
Okay, let's move on to a pick that, if this is real, is kind of wild, kind of crazy.
Is it Eureka again?
It's Jimbo.
Oh.
So I had heard that there were rumors of an international queen or two appearing on All Stars 8. There were two. Mm-hmm.
It's all really odd. It kind of makes the international All Stars versus the World format kind of redundant. So it's very strange. I also feel like it's kind of, it bothers me to bring Jimbo back, honestly, after the way fans treated Pangina for eliminating Jimbo, and then how they treat Pangina when Pangina was eliminated. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me, but it is what it is, and she's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Jimbo. I'll be the first to say I don't love Jimbo.
Me neither.
I will say the other name that was thrown out there as an invite. Mm-hmm. Oh,
no, go ahead.
The other queen that was thrown out as an international option, which I would have much preferred, and I think you would have much preferred, is Bimini Bamboo Lash.
Oh, I would have loved.
Yeah. So
my thing with Jimbo is I really love Jimbo on Canada 1. And then Jimbo's attitude and also Jimbo's drag kind of took a turn during Versus the World, and kind of like whilst Versus the World was airing. I'm not a big fan of the massive breastplate. Not the one pictured here, like the one that Yara Sofia wore for the talent show. I don't think we need to be mocking people's bodies or making a joke of the way people's body parts moves. I don't find it particularly funny. I find it kind of rooted in misogyny a little bit.
I agree.
I'm also still waiting on a proper like acknowledgement of what the makeup she did for the first runway of Versus World, because she said, "Oh, I didn't have time to change my makeup from full white face to beauty face, so I just decided to paint my full face black." But it's like, you could have just wiped the lips off and painted on a lip, and then wiped the eyes off and painted around the eyes. It makes more sense to continue with a white foundation base than to do blackface, my darling. But it's not really my place to say as a white person.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. But let's move along beyond that.
Sean Beyond is back? No, I'm kidding.
No. Well, there's a couple deep cuts a la LaShawn Beyond. We'll get there. But first, let's talk about Kahana Montrese.
Kahana, this makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
So I love Kahana. I actually really wanted Kahana to do well on season 11. I do think Kahana was maybe prematurely casted. She was only a few years into drag at that point. I feel like Kahana's drag has improved since then. And also
Kahana Kahana is a different person. If you don't follow Kahana Montrese on Instagram, first of all, pause this video, go follow Kahana, see how hot she is, then come back.
Yes. And also, she's a regular with the Vegas Live Girls. I believe she's in. I'm not sure if she's part of the main show or if she's an alternate.
So
but
she's a swing. Her
she's
and Coco, her and Coco are both swings because they live in Vegas. Alexis Mateo is also usually a swing.
Now, when are we getting James Mansfield on stage?
I would love to see it.
But yeah, so there's always a Vegas girl on All Stars, if you've not realized over the past couple of years, with the exception of the All Winners season. But that's because I don't think we've had a Vegas winner.
No.
But also, there has been something in recent years that I'm calling the Vegas curse. And I think the only person in recent history to break this is Alexis, and that's because there was another Vegas queen on her season of All Stars. So Vegas queens recently have been dropping very early. So Derek Barry out very quickly.
Yep.
Kana out very quickly. I'm trying to think between them. Farah on All Stars. Anyone on All Stars 3? Yeah, Coco when she did All Stars 2, which is kind of a while ago now.
Yeah.
There's probably more that I'm just not thinking of. Oh, who's that? Kimora. With an I.
India that we no longer speak of. Didn't do great.
Clearly.
Pretty much there just hasn't been a Vegas girl that's done very well in a long time.
With the exception of like Alexis Mateo making top 5 on a 10-person season, which is yeah.
Where three of them were from Vegas.
Yeah.
So
it's time to go cook in Vegas. Home.
Highlighter Vegas.
Yeah, I've always had like a love for Kana. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe because she's got that Montrese magic, which if you don't follow Mocha Montrese, who's not been on Drag Race, please do, because that is a legendary performer right there.
Miss Continental. I believe. Probably.
Possibly. I'm going to Google that now.
Please do. While you do
that...
that...
just be lying out of our teeth.
Well, I know she competes regularly. I just don't remember whether she has a title or not. But while you do that, we're going to talk about Candisha Muse.
Candy.
This feels correct, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, it's maybe soon, but you know what? I'm happy to see her.
There's always a recent season girl. There's always one. And if it's going to be one of them, I'm cool with it being Candy.
It's nice to have a finalist. Because I feel like recently, the finalists don't return for the most immediate All-Stars.
Yep.
It's kind of strange.
I mean, Candy knows exactly what she's doing.
Winning. Succeeding.
Providing incredible television. I'm very excited.
Here we go. Mocha Montrese, Miss Black America 2019, Miss Gay US of A 2015, Miss National Entertainer of the Year 2012, Miss Congeniality and Miss International Queen 2011, Miss Continental 2010, and Miss National 2009.
I was like, I knew there was a Continental in there.
Yeah.
So, thank you for the Googling. I appreciate it. But, yeah,
How many titles has Candy won? I'm kidding.
Not that.
I love Candy, just to clarify. Like, I was a big Candy Muse stan. And I remain that way.
Me too.
Mostly because the way Candy tweets is just pure chaos, and I love it.
It's everything.
I just really, really want Candy to do well.
Let's You know, there's.
Oh, your
I do too.
your computer's kind of like going a little crazy for me.
Work, diva. We love to see it.
That.
My computer can barely handle anything at this point, and it's brand new. So that's lovely and wonderful.
Loves it.
We're going to talk next. This is the deepest cut. I would say the next two that I have to talk about are the deepest cuts. And should they, either or both of them, be on, I would thoroughly be so thrilled. And the first one is Madame LeQueer.
Okay, Madame LeQueer was not on my list. However, yes, fucking please. Yes, ma'am.
Right?
I love Madame LeQueer. Like,
I
I'm
do
obsessed.
as well.
I really just want her to walk into that workroom and be like, my uncle is still hurting.
Truly. She is a talent, a beauty, but truly, never in my wildest dreams did I think WoW Presents or World of Wonder would contact Madame LeQueer.
Me neither. Like, this is a shock to me because this isn't on my list. So I'm just like, ah!
Yeah. It's
the
I
winner of
want
season 4.
Not that. She did win a challenge. So would be Puerto Rican representation for a second, well, not second in a row. Second out of the last 3 All-Stars. So I would like to see it personally. But
same.
We're just going to stick with smaller images on screen because I don't want to stress out my computer any more than it already is. So we're going to move to the next queen that is also a deep cut, given things surrounding them in the last 6 months specifically. And that is Monica Beverly Hills.
Monica Beverly Hills.
Now, if you follow Monica the way that I do, because I love her, Monica quit drag a few months ago. So to see her on this list is kind of wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Because she's going to have contract obligations to fulfill.
She's out of contract.
Is she? Oh.
So up through season 8, I believe, are out of contract now.
For All Stars?
Yep. Because the contracts are 5 years, I believe. And
no, I just meant that. No, I meant for like the new one for when she signed into All Stars. Like, I imagine that she's gonna have to go do the like talk show shit that they always make the All Stars do.
Yeah, so when so the original contract is 5 years. The All Stars contract is another 5 years. And that's not compounded. So like the girls that, like Candy, for instance, Candy signed a contract at the start of 13. Candy's 5 years reset the moment, if she is on, the moment she would sign that contract.
Not RuPaul owning your butthole for almost 10 years.
Literally. I mean, but you make a lot of money. So
sell your soul to the devil.
Yeah, so from what I had seen, following Monica. She was very public about her transition over the last couple of years. Surgery, all that kind of stuff. And I had seen that she had quit drag in order to focus on other pursuits, which was interesting then when I saw her listed on this cast. It's a wild pick because of that alone, but I would like to see it.
Ooh. Also, if you don't already, I would suggest following Abigail Beverly Hills, who is Monica's drag daughter.
Gorgeous,
lovely gal.
stunning beauty. Yeah, I would highly recommend that as well. I'd love to see Monica back.
Same.
Let's get
loud.
Going back and forth is so difficult. Let's get loud. For this next queen, Morgan McMahon. Now, I don't think I've ever publicly said this on the internet. My microphone is affectionately named Morgan McMicrophone. So clearly I have a deep love for this woman.
Please inject this shit straight into my veins. I love Morgan so fucking much.
Can you imagine the fights between Candy Muse, Madame LaQueer, and Morgan McMichaels?
It's gonna be fire.
Imagine?
They need to put up the cost of Robertson's Plus for the Untucks we're gonna get. We're gonna get $20 programming for $9.99.
Oh yeah. Is that how much it is for y'all?
I don't know. I just made up a number.
I
just pay it monthly and hope it doesn't bounce.
It's $4 American here.
Oh yeah, it's for something then.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if they were charging us double for being in the UK,
wild. I mean,
especially
y'all
since
do
we get less shows.
I mean, to be fair, no, it's more shows because y'all get the US franchise and you get All Stars because we don't get that on our Represents.
That's really sad.
I know. What's not sad is the idea of Morgan McMichaels back on my television.
I'm here for it.
I want to see it. I mean, she truly revolutionized the way that Drag Race is played now.
Yes.
And I don't think we... Go ahead.
I still attest that Morgan shouldn't have gone home first. And if Morgan hadn't gone home first on All Stars 3, I bet you that top 4 would have looked completely different.
I agree. Completely. I agree. So we've got 2 more to talk about, both of which I'm very excited for. The first of those being Rock'em Sakura!
Oh, please. No, this is someone who deserves a redemption arc because, in my opinion, no one has been done as dirty as Rock'em Sakura has been done. Wow, that is a mouthful to say on my accent. No one has been done as dirty as Rock'em Sakura has been done.
Rock'em
Sakura has been done.
I agree.
Trust and believe when I thought Rock'em Sakura was going to be top 5 of season 12.
Absolutely. And I honestly think on any other season, she would have gone much further. But truly one of my favorite queens to come out of the modern age of Drag Race.
So incredibly stupid.
Very. But in the best possible way.
And already had like all-star ready Drag Race looks from what we got to at least see on the season. Apart from, and I love Rock'em to death, But if you saw what Rockham was going to wear for the purple runway,
I don't think I did.
it was supposed to be like a tribute to Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time.
Oh, I
It
do
looked
remember
like
that.
Yeah, it did look like the big purple turd from McDonald's.
Oh,
Grimace?
goodness.
I don't
Yeah,
know. We don't
Grimace.
really have the McDonald's mascots over here.
Yeah, it's Grimace.
Grimace. Well, good for her.
Yeah, no. Rock. I would say honestly from this list, Rock and Jaden Dior Fierce are like the two that I'm the most excited about. But like this whole cast is exciting. Should this be real? Like this is going to be a great season. Capped off by an icon in her own right.
Is it gonna
Thank
load?
you.
Tatiana. I'm excited for Tatiana and Morgan to be in the workroom together. I'm ready to see what
Tatiana,
that's like.
Morgan, and Jessica. There would be 3 season 2 girls.
Which hasn't happened since like All Stars 1.
1. Literally. It would be 3 season 1 or 3 season 2 girls, season 4, season 5, season 6, season 7.
I feel like even though we had Pandora and Kylie Sonique Love on All Stars 7 together, I don't feel like we really got to see them interact with each other much.
I don't think they were necessarily the closest.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, it would have been nice if there was a even just a joke after the entrances being like, oh, 2 season 2 girls.
An acknowledgement of it, honestly.
Like, hey, it's been so long since we've been here. One of us hasn't aged. It wasn't Pandora.
Oh no. Don't do Pandy like that.
Pandora is my number 1 of all time. Thank you.
I love Pandora. I love Tatiana as well. Running down the list once again, the list that I have is Adore Delano, Alexis Michelle, Heidi in Closet, Jaden Dior Fierce, Jessica Wilde, Jimbo, Kahana Montrese, Candy Muse, Madame LeQueer, Monica Beverly Hills, Morgan McMichaels, Rock'em Sakura, and Tatiana.
I'm going to be honest. I think I like the list you have. Apart from, with the exception of one person on the list I have, I think I like the list you have more. So I have Adore Cilantro, who we have.
Yeah.
Alexis Michelle, who we have. And then Coco Montrese is on this list.
Coco is someone that I saw on the original version of this list.
And then Heidi in Closet. Yeah. And then the Window Fondue.
Oh!
Which would be a nice pick,
I love Widow. I fucking love Widow. I would...
I agree. And then next on this list would be the Lady James Mansfield.
I've also seen James.
Which would make a lot of sense. Around. And then Jessica we have, Jimbo we have, Kahana we have. And then the next person on this list would be Cameron Michaels.
Also someone I've seen on lists, yeah.
Yeah. And then I believe everyone else on the rest of this list is the same. So Candy Muse,
yeah,
Monica Beverly Hills, Morgan, Tatiana, and RuPaul.
Who?
RuPaul. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're this drag queen from the Brewster Project.
I hate you. So what I had heard, I hadn't heard Widow. That makes me happy, and I'm hopeful for that. What I had heard, I had that list minus Widow. And then an update I had gotten was that Coco, James, and Cameron were out, and that Rock and Madame LeQueer were in.
Makes sense. I'm imagining Widow probably got replaced with Jaden because Jaden's not on this list.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Which is sad, but I'd like to see Widow back at some point.
Absolutely. I definitely would love to see Widow back.
Oh, speaking of, I had an interaction with Jeannie from Drag Race Thailand Season 2 on Twitter recently.
Love Jeannie. Oh, was it in reference to a YouTube video that was made?
Yeah, so Mara Mangle put something out
I
like
love
sixth
Mira.
place wins the long race. And Jeannie was like, oh, I was originally sixth place. And I replied, we need to see you on the Versus the World format. And Jeannie said, I would love to compete again soon, hopefully. Prayer hands.
I love Jeannie. Go follow Jeannie. They're
I wish for
incredible.
Jeannie.
Um,
And honestly, out of all the Thailand queens, I see Jeannie as probably the most likely. Just because,
I think the other one is Vandamiss Joachim.
yeah, because they both have fluent English, and I believe Jeannie also has U.S. citizenship of some sort,
I believe so.
which would make it easy to cast them on a new season.
Yeah. So that is All Stars 8 in a nutshell. We will know more as the weeks go on, so we might do a follow-up specifically on All Stars 8. Not sure.
It really is down to how busy we get with 5 different Drag Race seasons airing at once.
And along with all of the other shows that we're covering, which is why we're doing this now. But okay.
Thank you, Big Brother.
Thank you, Big Brother. Thank you, Survivor South Africa, for airing 4 days a fucking week. Anyway, let's talk about Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World. The world's longest Drag Race title. So before we got our Canada season 3 announcement, go check out our cast assessment, by the way. It's on the channel. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It features both of us and Sam. So yeah, all of that. So before we got the Canada season 3 cast, we got confirmation via Twitter in a video with Brooklyn Heights, saying that Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World, is coming later this year. We've known about this for some time, but I was honestly kind of surprised that we got this confirmation
so soon. Drag Race UK versus World had been over for like barely weeks, and it was like, hi, just so you know, you're getting Canada versus the World this year.
Like, we're also doing it.
Yeah. I was assuming we were going to get it in January of next year. Like, I did not expect it to be this year, the large year of 2022.
Yeah. So we have a confirmed cast. This is a confirmed cast. So we're going to talk about this confirmed cast really quick. It is 9 queens, the same way the UK versus the World was. Presumably 8 episodes, from what I understand. It's a little bit more of an expanded format, which I appreciate. So I'm not going to pull photos because clearly pulling photos did not do well for my computer. So we're just not going to do that again. So let's start aptly with the Canada girls.
Canada.
And the first that I wrote down on a banner here is Stephanie Prince.
Stephanie, mama, Stephanie
Not
Prince.
That. Not that.
I'm very happy for this because Stephanie was done dirty.
I agree. I
completely agree. Very dirty. Had amazing looks. And I don't think she was that bad in the acting challenge. I think the bottom 2 could have been the other 2 people. So Cynthia and Kendall.
Yeah.
But as we saw, they were saving Kendall for the finale. However, I will say Ghost by Fifi Dobson is one of my favorite songs.
Love.
As a result of this lip sync.
Same, honestly.
Yeah. And this was probably minus Cynthia nearly, killing Stephanie with that ugly handbag. One of my favorite lip syncs of like Canada's Drag Race. I will actually say, I just scratched the shit on my elbow.
Oh no, not that.
But I will say that Canada's Drag Race, I know where the funding is going. It's not going towards the promotional materials, clearly. It's going towards the money for the lip syncs songs. Because these are some good song choices.
Yeah, Ghost with Stephanie and Cynthia actually made my top list of 2021. which was one of the first videos we did on this channel. So go check that out. That made my top 21. And it's, yeah. I love
doing a top 22 this year.
Yep. That's the plan.
Loves it.
Yep. I mean, we'll have enough lip syncs to talk about it. But yes, I am very excited to see Stephanie back. She deserves it. And I'm very excited.
The only other person from like actually we'll talk about this after you've announced all the Canada's girls.
Okay. Because there are 4 of them, apparently.
That's more than I actually originally thought.
Yeah, so it's 4 Canadian girls, 2 US, 2 UK, and a Down Under.
That's not a good mix, in my opinion.
I completely agree.
Thank you, Canada, for your racist immigration work laws.
But we're going to move on to someone that was allegedly an alternate for this season, ended up on the season in the same way that good old Miss Cheryl Hole did on UK versus the World, and that's Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner.
Allegedly, Kendall replaced a big name that was supposed to be on this cast. I've heard a few rumblings. I've heard that this spot was originally for Pythia. I've heard a spot was originally for Pythia. I have also heard that a spot was for Bimini Bon Boulash.
Yeah. I sincerely doubt Bimini would come back to Drag Race.
Yeah.
Just because Bimini's taking a step back from Bimini being a drag character, more Bimini just being
the person
and a model.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But I love me some Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner is one of my absolute favorites from Canada Season 2. She was my pick to win going into the finale, even though I knew it probably wasn't going to happen. But I love Kendall. I'm very excited to see Kendall back. I hope she does well. I don't know elimination spoilers, but I hope she does well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump over to Season 1 of Canada really, really quick. Let's talk about Miss Rita Baga.
Rita Baga,
the French-Canadian diva.
I did not just nearly fall off my chair.
Not that.
I'm going to grab this footstool so I can rest my foot on something that's not going to kill me.
That's valid. I love Rita.
I do too.
One of my faves. Lip sync assassin.
I did really assume that Rita was going to win Season 1, so I was happy when Veronica won. Veronica. However, I was under the assumption, because of the way the season was set up, I was like, oh, they're going to give this to Rita.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rita didn't win, so I'm happy to have Rita back.
Yeah, I think it's time. I'm excited. If she wasn't going to be on UK versus the World, I'm happy to see her on Canada versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
And then rounding out our set of Canadian girls, a bit of a shock pick, Isis Couture, the winner of season 2.
Odd.
I have also heard that Isis was an alternate.
It's a very strange choice, because unlike when BB came back for All Stars 3, it had been, nearly 10 plus years at that point.
Yeah.
Isis, there's months between these seasons. The only thing Isis has had time to change is her entire face structure.
Yeah.
And not much else.
From what I've heard, it was 9 months between her being crowned and her back in the workroom.
Better than some people have had, to be fair. Because I believe Janie J.K. had less than that.
Janie had, I believe, 7 months. Katya, I think, also had 7 or 8 months. But the one thing that kind of unifies all three of those queens are just professionalism. I think, honestly, I think Isis could win again.
It would be, I was going to say, it'd be crazy to have our first double crown queen, but we're literally confirmed to get a double crown queen within 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jinx. Anyway.
Well,
yeah, it's I'm not unhappy to see Isis. I just think it's very soon, and it's just odd, isn't it? It's an odd pick.
Yep.
I think what I'm hung up about is there are very many Drag Race Canada queens who probably could have come back instead of Isis.
Yeah. Who would have been more than happy to.
I would have loved to have Oceane back. I would have loved to have Eve back.
I was about to say Eve 6000 would have been my pick.
Scarlet Bobo.
It would have been Eve or Bobo for me.
Yeah.
Or Boa. Or Tainomi. Kimura.
Tainomi.
Hello. All of them.
See, Boa would have made a lot of sense in my mind.
Yep.
Actually, I believe I could be completely wrong on my timings here, but I think Boa probably was recovering from surgery at the time of this filming.
I believe.
Because she had gastric bypass surgery.
Yeah.
So that she can become Lemon and defeat her in a war of twinks.
Which I love. But yeah, so that's the Canadian set of gals. Let's talk about our American representation, starting with Raja O'Hara.
Again, odd pick.
Both of the US picks are incredibly... I'm just going to say who the other one is, because, I mean, they go hand in hand. This is now the third season they've been on together. It's Raja and Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
Happy to see Raja back.
I'm happy to see both of them, as I have come around a little bit more than most people have on Silky. I still don't like that Silky is a COVID super spreader from the beginning of the moment. But there are so many US girls to pick from. I picked the girls that were just
on All Stars. I just think it's very odd.
I would have understood if it was just Silky. Given the fact that she did go home early and did get her lip sync redemption, I would have understood if it was just Silky. Raja coming back, while I'm not mad, because I love Raja.
Do you know who I would have loved to have seen in Raja's spot? Someone who did well on All Stars 2, like Katya or Detox. I think them coming back would have been super threatening.
Detox would have been my pick.
I believe Detox has expressed interest in doing the Versus World format at some point.
Yeah.
Has said she would not return for a regular All-Star season, but she would be interested in doing Versus the World. So please cast Detox. I need to see the runway looks.
I really, really hope that we get Detox. I thought originally it was going to be Detox and Tatiana. I had heard that originally. I would not be mad at that.
I think that would be fierce.
I would have loved to see as well Detox and Shangela. I think would have been a lovely... Bring Shangela back. I'm here for it.
If we're going to start only bringing all-stars from the US back for Versus the World, bring back ones that are heavy hitters.
Or, like, could you imagine? I don't think the second queen would come back. But could you imagine the US being represented by Detox and Nina Flowers?
Ooh.
And
I love Nina Flowers.
I do too. That's nothing to take away from Raja or Silky. I'm very excited to see both of them again. Odd pick, given the fact that they were literally just...
If it was just one of them, even if it was just Silky, I could have accepted that. I just think it is so
Soon.
So soon and so strange.
Yeah.
And I just know the fans are going to complain about Sulky endlessly.
Yep. Uh-huh.
They'll be happy to see Raja again because Raja became a fan favorite through All Stars 6, which, thank God, because Raja deserves.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, before All Stars 6, I was not a fan of Raja, and then I became a fan of Raja because of All Stars 6.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe it'll happen for Silky.
We'll see. Let's talk about our Down Under representation. One of several queens that I would like to see on a Versus the World format. We're getting Anita Wiglet.
Anita Wiglet. Of all the Down Under queens, Anita would have been my first pick for this. Literally my first pick.
Anita, for me, it would have been my top two are Anita or etc. etc.
Yeah. Serving hard, etc.
Or even, I honestly think Coco Jumbo could come and slay.
Honestly, anyone but Scarlett Adams.
And Karen from Finance.
Karen from Finance. So I forgot about him.
Genuinely, anybody else from that cast, I want to see.
JoJo Zaho. Let's put JoJo Zaho in our screen again.
But I'm very excited to see Anita. Snatch Game winner. We've got a couple? No. No, she's the only Snatch Game winner on this cast.
Ooh. That's going to be threatening.
Spoilers for the UK representation. But I'll go out on a limb and say one of the best Snatch Games ever done. Her Queen Elizabeth is
dry ass pussy. The only way it could have gone better is if she had a hand puppet Prince Andrew.
I agree. But I'm very excited to see Anita. I'm nervous as she is the only person from her franchise, and we saw how that went last time. But we'll see. I'm optimistic. And we'll see. Let's talk about the UK representation to round out this little bunch, starting with Vanity Milan.
Hit the ground running. Da, 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 da.
I love Vanity Milan.
Yeah, I like Vanity. I think Vanity is great. Part of me wishes we got she was meant to be on versus
Astina Mandela.
Astina Mandela, there we go. Part of me wishes we got Astina Mandela.
I have heard, again, could be wrong, I've heard that Vanity was an alternate for Astina.
See, Astina and Vanity on the same season would have been really cool as well.
I mean, I am very happy with the UK representation. We'll talk about the other queen. But yes, bring back Astina Mandela. Point blank in the period.
I feel like Astina will be back at some point. If she's been asked for UK versus World and Canada's versus World.
Yeah, because she was, if y'all don't know, Astina was supposed to be on UK versus the World. I believe that was the time that her mother passed.
Yeah.
And was then subsequently replaced by Cheryl Hole, who I love and was happy to see. But Astina, given the way UK versus the World went, happy that Astina is going to be on a probably better
season.
On a different season. Very excited for Vanity. I just love her. One of my absolute favorites from UK3.
Mm-hmm.
And rounding out my favorite from UK3, point blank in the period, no question, Victoria Scone is going to be back on my television, and boy, am I ready.
Yeah, so Victoria apparently wasn't invited back to... apparently Victoria was invited back to do UK4.
Yeah.
But declined on the offer that they said I believe they told her she could either do UK3 or go straight to Canada versus World. And any sensible person would go to the one that gives you cash prizes.
Absolutely. This is my winner pick. I'm sorry. The cast
I could see this.
The cast is good overall, but this is my queen. This is my icon. I'm slightly biased because she follows me on Twitter. I'm going to be real. But I fell in love with her the minute the UK3 cast was dropped.
I want us to have more cis female drag queens on Drag Race, please. I will also say I have a soft spot for Victoria Scone.
Yes.
For the sole reason I have a TikTok about Victoria that got 250,000 views. And it is literally just me literally me with a caption saying people complaining about a woman being on Drag Race. And it cuts to the audio from a gender reveal. And the audio goes, "She's a fucking lesbian." And somehow that has got me 250,000 views and over 70,000 likes. So thank you, Victoria Scott, for giving me my TikTok career.
Work, diva.
But yeah, I'm going to be honest. Don't send hate to people who are on Drag Race unless they send Victoria Scott home.
Yeah.
And in that case, we will be slandering them as a misogynist. Thank you.
Well, maybe not all that, but I'll be sad and depressed for a while.
For legal purposes, this is a joke. Please don't threaten drag queens. We are literally just people in wigs.
That part.
And Joey J.
And Joey J. That's Canada versus the world. I'm optimistic given the material.
Given the judging panel.
Yes, I wanted to point that out as well. RuPaul is not hosting.
Thank God.
This season it's okay. And so here's my qualm. So it is going to be hosted by Brooklyn, Brad Gresky, and Tracy Melchor. Now, Brooklyn was on a season and competed with two of these girls.
Yes.
And if the top two of the season, or if the top 3, 4, whatever, includes Raja and Silky, I will be throwing shade at Brooklyn Heights for the rest of the time I am a podcaster on the internet.
Thing is, I could realistically see Raja winning or being in the final.
If both of them are there together, then I'm going to have a problem.
Yeah. I don't see that happening, though. And just in my mind, I don't think it's possible. Just because there's going to be a time when either of them fall into the bottom. And looking at this cast, this looks like a cast that aren't here to send the weakest person home. This looks like a cast that are ready to Jimbo and Pangina the fuck out of everyone else.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if we lost Raja in a very shocking elimination. The moment Raja makes a slip up.
Yeah.
And I would be devastated and I would be very angry, but it would not shock me.
Same.
Did I mention I cried when Pangina got eliminated? That was the last time Drag Race made me upset.
I did too.
I was so angry. I had to stay off my phone for the entire evening.
Not a good time. Let's go over to you, Eris, over in the UK.
United Kingdoms and the occupied kingdom of Northumbria. Also, this is just a bit of news, but Scotland is having another independence referendum. I encourage every Scottish person to exercise their electoral freedom to go and vote and make their voices heard. I believe it is happening sometime next year.
Do it. I support it.
And I won't share my opinions on what I think Scotland should do because English. But go out there and vote.
I'm not going to share my opinions because ignorant American.
We'll share our opinions with each other once the podcast is over. Yeah. But anyone who knows my opinion on what Northumbria should do can probably guess what I want Scotland to do.
Anyway, let's talk about UK Season 4 coming at some point this year.
Assumedly, probably around the November time.
I was going to say probably, I'm thinking September, October, maybe fall. November. We'll see. Very happy it's not coming anytime soon, but I'm very excited for the cast.
Yeah, because Canada made a jump ahead. Like, I was expecting to get Canada around November time.
Yeah, we were the original schedule that we kind of all thought it would be France and Down Under around this time, Philippines, and then Canada coming like to start the fall wave, Canada, UK, Thailand. But what you're gonna do isn't what you want to do isn't necessarily what you're gonna. I always get it wrong every time.
What you want to do is not necessarily what World of Wonder is gonna do.
Vice versa.
But yeah, so the UK. Let's get into this cast.
I've got not screenshots. But
dermatitis. Sorry.
Very that. I will be linking this video down below because I want to. But let's start. We're going to go alphabetical order. It's Baby.
Baby. So I don't actually know anything about Baby other than very fucking pretty.
Someone told me, this is probably wrong. Someone told me that she is in the House of Heart, a la Mohart.
I didn't know there was any House of Heart.
I didn't either.
Crochets in the UK.
I heard, this is probably very wrong, but I heard that there's some drag relation between Baby and Mohart, which if that's the case, it'll make me stand Baby even harder.
I mean, I technically have a drag sister who's something like the second time detached niece of Tia Coffee, so
I work. But yes, Baby from London looks beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Gorgeous girls consume the light.
And I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be the unfortunate part of this video because I have to unshare and reshare every single time because of fair use. But next up, the queen I am most excited about, and there are big names on this cast. Black Peppa will be the queen I will be standing. This is my bitch. I love her. And I've been following her for a while as well. So I'm very excited.
Prepare for probably the best looks we're going to get from Drag Race UK.
Yeah.
From Black Peppa.
I think a couple of these girls, we'll talk about the next person alphabetically actually kind of falls into that as well.
I don't know much about Black Peppa's performance skills, but I've seen so many photographs of Black Peppa. Prepare for the looks.
I am very happy we are getting more than one Black queen on a season of Drag Race UK. It's a fucking miracle. But no, she is the person I am the most excited about.
Yeah.
Second being a queen I am very happy to finally see it. That's Cheddar Gorgeous.
Cheddar Gorgeous. Okay, so there's a lot that can be said in regards to Cheddar. So I believe Cheddar, gets asked every year by the fans, not by production, to my knowledge, about Drag Race. And I think for the past 3 seasons, Cheddar has been like, hey, I'm just focusing on my health right now.
Yeah.
And if now is Cheddar's time, then I'm very fucking happy to see it.
Yeah.
Cheddar has neck and neck with Black Pepper. Maybe even above Black Pepper, if I'm being honest. But that's maybe because Cheddar has a couple more years on her drag wise. Yeah. The most devastating Drag Race looks we're probably going to get from the UK in a long while. And Cheddar had a show over here called Drag SOS, which is what we're here ripped off. It's where they travel around the UK and put people who need a little pick-me-up into drags.
Love it.
I believe they only made 1 season of it because COVID hit around the time they were going to film season 2, and then it just did not get renewed.
Yeah.
However, it is a great series if you want to watch it. There's some really great drag performers on there, including but not limited to Anaphylactic. I believe Licorice Black was also on there. I could be wrong.
Oh.
And TT Bang.
Oh, work.
I believe Astina was a guest.
I think
A
I
few
had
times.
heard of that before, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Estina was on that. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like a guest choreographer because she's not. I don't believe she's part of the Family Gorgeous, but she's good friends with
Yeah.
a few people on this list.
Yeah. So from what I understand, again, could be wrong, ignorant American here. From what I understand, Cheddar was asked at the very least for season 1, along with the Bagas and the Vivians and the Davinas and all of that. But I think what you had talked about was right. They were focusing on their health, which obviously is very important.
It makes sense as well because the casting process for season 1, when I went through it, was a lot. The questionnaire they had you fill out at the beginning was a lot less in depth than it was for the following season. So it seems like they probably had people in mind that they actually wanted on the season, much like Down Under 1, where the majority of the cast was asked.
Majority, if not all, I think.
Yeah. I did hear somewhere that JoJo Zaho was an alternate for someone.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
But no clue of who this mystery person was, so...
Who knows? Let's move to the next gal, and that's Copper Top from London.
No clue.
Cool. The makeup's cute.
She's ginger?
I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Truly know nothing about her. So
me neither.
Slay, work diva.
Work the world. Oh.
Truly, yeah. I mean, honestly, the rest of this video is going to be a lot of us not really knowing.
I don't know her.
Truly that. So next up is Dakota Schiffer, also from London.
Also no clue, but love the aesthetics.
The makeup is good. The makeup seems... There's a lot of... I don't want to say Crystal Versace's on this season, but there's a couple of Crystal Versace's on this season.
Well, Dakota is very vintage, from what I understand of Dakota.
Yeah,
but not in a Vivian Vanderpuss way, more of a Dakota Schiffer way.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the makeup looks good, so I'm excited to see what happens. I'm also very excited for this next contestant alphabetically. That's Danny
Beard. Okay, so
not that.
Yeah, so Danny was on, I believe, Britain's Got Talent a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Because a clip of Danny singing Sweet Transvestite went very viral. I also believe Danny has previously won Drag Idol in sort of the Sunderland, Newcastle area, which makes sense, but it was years ago. Yeah, I'm happy to see Danny. It's very different from what we've seen so far on Drag Race UK. Granted, we've had like a lot of varied drag on Drag Race UK, but it's even more out there, so I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, they're a name that I've known for a while. I'm excited to see a different aesthetic for UK. Because really the only thing outside of traditional, and I hate using that word, but traditional drag, really the only thing we've seen, or the only person we've seen, is Ginny Lemon. And so I'm excited to, and I would say Charity Case to an extent, but we'll see. I'm excited for Danny. Excited to see what they bring. Next up is Jean Bear Blonde, also from London.
Also no clue.
The makeup looks great.
Lovely gal. Once again, another season that's like completely bloated with London queens.
Yeah.
RuPaul, I just want you to be aware there is drag outside of London. There are 32 drag performers in York, and we are a small city.
Yeah.
And I'm very tired of the Southern bias that infiltrates into every aspect of my fucking life,
Yeah.
also managing to make its way into Drag Race.
Woo! Well,
Woo, classism. The
do you want
North-South
another London
divide.
queen?
No.
Well, you're getting one. It's just May. I assume related to Teresa?
I don't think.
Really?
Because Teresa is
Is in Newcastle and Just May is in London. I do
opposite
understand.
ends of the country. I don't believe.
The makeup is so similar though. I don't know.
I don't know. It's giving
But
stinky.
Just May. I do love the makeup.
She looks angry.
Am I doing it?
Your teeth aren't far enough apart.
Trust me, they are. You just can't see it. Anyway, moving along. The audio version of this podcast, I can already tell, it's going to be just really, really bad. I'm so sorry if you're listening to the audio. It's another London queen, Le Fille.
So I've heard a lot about the feel.
Okay.
A very different from what I would have expected for Drag Race UK. I'm excited to see them.
Yeah, they seem to be, from what I understand, again, probably wrong, but from what I understand, they seem to be more of a performance artist than a drag artist, which I love. My primary degree in university is in art history, and my focus in that degree is in performance art. So I love a performance artist. I stan a performance artist. I appreciate that there's racial diversity on this damn cast. I think there's only three. I think there's only three, but still excited to see it. Guess what, Eris?
That's what.
It's another London queen. It's Pixie Polite.
Oh, so I do have some tea about Pixie Polite.
Okay.
Good Judies with Tea of Coffee. Drag sisters, I believe, actually.
Work! Okay.
I know that they perform in the same same group. Like they did the one where Tia referred to herself as Beyonceing herself from the situation.
Yes.
So I guess that makes Pixie Kelly Rowland.
Oh no, who's gonna be on season? Well, now it's season 2, season 4. Who's gonna be on season 6 as the Michelle Williams? I do love the makeup.
Break the dawn.
Not Break the Dawn.
That's the only Michelle Williams song I know because of Drag Race.
Same. Quite literally same. This is someone I don't remember seeing on the original lists that I saw, but should they be on, I am excited based on this one photo alone. Santi Storm.
No.
Oh no.
Okay, so I believe Santi has since been. Oh yeah, this video looks old as fuck. So Santi has since been debunked. Okay, so Santi has a massive history with cultural appropriation, specifically of Japanese aesthetics.
We're moving
in
on.
And out of drag for some reason. Also, this is maybe personal tea, and I'm not going to out this person, but one of my friends is a drag performer who is disabled and met Santi and Charity and felt like the entire time they were in their presence, both of them talked down to them.
Great. forget everything I just said. We're going to move on.
Yeah. But I do believe Santi has since been debunked.
I believe so as well.
I hope so, because Jesus fucking Christ.
Let's instead talk about Sminty Drop, aka Crystal Versace.
Sminty Drop, aka Sminty of the House of Kendall.
Oh, I see it.
She is, I do believe she is I'm confident, like 95% confident, that she is a member of the House of Kendall.
Gothy Kendall. I mean, I'm here for it.
Gothy Kendall. Sometimes I perform in Leeds, but that's a lie.
Not that. Well, let's see if Sminty can do better than her sister.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything to say about Sminty.
I was gonna say the makeup's great, but
she's skinny.
Yes.
So the fans are gonna love her.
Truly. Very excited to let you know that this next person is not from London. And that's Starlet.
Oh, see, this bitch is pretty. So I don't know much about Starlet other than she's a very talented makeup artist.
I can tell.
Yeah. Very Gorgina of the House of Lush.
Oh, work, okay.
That doesn't mean anything. I literally just made that up.
Work, diva.
But she is gorgeous. She's gorgeous, but not gorgeous. Ew.
Or fiercelicious. I think that's it. Seems like
Drag Race UK. Yeah, once again, a majority London cast doesn't sit right in my soul. Especially when all tree, all shade, with the exception of Brighton, the majority of the drag talent is up in the north for me. And I'm including Manchester in the north. I mean, Why are we having more Birmingham queens? Why are we having more Brighton queens? I don't believe anyone from York actually bothered to apply this year because we're well aware of RuPaul's shit. I would love to have seen from Doncaster maybe Ebony White or Naomi Carter because very talented, and also Bipolar Abdul I'll add to the list because it'd be nice to have someone who is an assist nan on Drag Race. More Newcastle queens, or alternatively, and this might be crazy, like this just might be really out of the box, but for Drag Race UK, maybe some drag queens from Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland, because I don't know if there are any this season.
No, we got enough of those on the first 2 seasons. We had 1 or 2. We don't need any more.
Atrocious. Anyway, I hope RuPaul lets me host Drag Race Northumbria.
Oh my god. Fucking Northumbria.
The first lip sync is going to be on Ilchli Morbart. Where has there been since I saw thee? Okay, I'm going to leave it there.
Alrighty. Let's close out this long-ass episode with season 15 of Drag Race US. We have a cast. They just got back to their homes. And let's talk about this cast.
Mm-hmm. Smells good.
The one time I have this cute little graphic. So we've got 16 queens.
Biggest Drag Race cast ever.
I'm honestly here for it, given the fact that we are now in the era of Drag Race where we have 16 episodes. I'm here for it.
I would rather see someone go every episode and us have a massive cast than having to deal with a season 14 or 13 situation where we are just begging for people to get eliminated.
Yeah, I agree.
So, just a question. Amethyst, is that the Amethyst that won Raven's painted people race?
No.
No.
No. That's the person who won that, their name isn't Amethyst, I don't believe.
I don't know what they're called. I was confident it was Amethyst.
I follow them. I don't think it is.
Let me Google.
Cool. Well, while you do that, I'm gonna run down this cute little cast. We've got Amethyst from Hartford, Connecticut. Anetra from Las Vegas. I love that we were talking earlier about the Vegas girls. We got one. Aura Mayari from Nashville. Irene Dubois from Seattle. Jax from New York.
I have words.
Okay.
Rest in peace to anyone who has to lip sync against Jax.
Yep. Yeah. That's all. Lucy LaDuca from New Haven, Connecticut.
Phoenix looks amazing.
Fuck you, bitch. Lux Noir London from East Orange, New Jersey. We'll come back to Lux. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox from Miami. Finally getting some Florida representation for the first time in a while. Marsha from New York City. Mistress Isabel Brooks from Houston, Texas. I believe it's Princess Poppy. Not 100% sure. I'm going to say Princess Poppy, even though it says Poppy Princess on here. Princess Poppy from San Francisco. Robin Fierce from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Selena Estides from Los Angeles. Icon, legend, star, we will come back to her in a moment. Sasha Colby, also from LA. And then Sugar and Spice, the drag twins, also from LA.
The Powerpuff Twinks.
Quite literally. If you don't know Sugar and Spice, they have a fairly large following on TikTok. They are both very conventionally attractive white twinks.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm keeping my thoughts and options open. I don't want to necessarily judge, but I will say conventionally attractive white twink drag queens are not the kind of drag queens that I typically gravitate towards immediately. So I would like to be proven wrong by both Sugar and Spice in that regard. I also want to say this is the first time that Connecticut as a state is represented on Drag Race, and they have 3 queens. We've never had a Connecticut queen.
And all of a sudden we have 3.
All of a sudden
3
there's
Connecticut girls.
3 Connecticut, 5 LA girls.
5 LA girls.
Actually, I think it's 4. 5 California girls, because Princess Poppy is from California. There we go. I mean, I just want to start with Sasha Colby. The mother of Carrie Colby. Miss Continental, Sasha Colby. I have been waiting for years, hoping and praying that there was some minuscule chance that Sasha Colby would be on Drag Race. And I think had Carrie not been on season 14, I don't think we would have ever seen Sasha here. I'm truly still gagged and will be gagged until I see her promo that this is real and she is on this season. Because I have followed Sasha Colby for 6 years at this point. She is a talent. She is a legend. She is a continental. So you all know what that comes with. And I'm excited to have the second Miss Continental winner of Drag Race. I'm saying it right now.
Marsha, move over, sis. It's Sasha Colby.
Now, I don't know if Marsha has any relation to Jan.
I could imagine.
I hope so. but I don't know that to be true. I'm missing Midwest representation on this season, specifically missing Chicago representation.
Yeah, this is the first season in a while we haven't had someone from Chicago.
Who was on 14 from Chicago? Willow, technically.
Didn't Diabetes also recently moved to Chicago right before the season started?
I believe so. Willow was the one that I know for sure moved there. I think Dia did as well.
Good old Wilhelmina Pillamina.
So I am a huge fan of the Chicago drag scene. I follow a lot of the big names. I will say I am still surprised whether she applied or not. I actually don't know. I'm very surprised that Auntie Chan has not been on Drag Race yet. Honestly, any of the IMHO girls, if you know,
that's a good point. There's no one on this cast that's like a cornbread figure, if you know what I mean.
I completely disagree, and my counter argument to that is Sasha Colby. But I do understand where you're coming from as far as like, well, I would even counter that argument and say Sugar and Spice.
Yeah, I meant more so like someone who's like an outright comedy queen that has a following as a comedy queen. Because
Okay,
Sasha, Sugar, and Spice don't have following for their comedy chops, obviously.
No. And I also don't necessarily, on face value, see this cast as a comedy cast.
I'm willing to bet a lot of them are funny.
I have done some social media diving. Selena is funny as hell. Lucy LaDuca, don't be surprised when she wins Snatch Game. But Marsha, I think has a little bit of comedy as well, but they're a relatively young queen. But otherwise, it's kind of a look cast. It's a face cast. It's I think it's going to be a performance cast, and I'm excited to see it. But yeah, I'm missing some Chicago representation. I'm missing Western US representation that isn't California. I am happy to see Vegas, and thus by proxy, because Vegas is the closest, I will be rooting for Anetra. But yeah, I mean, it's a cute cast.
Yeah. I think I would say I'm most excited probably about Jax and Lux.
Mm-hmm.
Just from and this picture alone, I'm kind of excited for Malaysia Baby Doll Fox.
Yes. So Malaysia is actually a really interesting thing. Not that she was like, not that anything is like specifically special about her spot, but she was kind of a late ad in the deep diving of this season as it was airing. She had gotten debunked and then all of a sudden was back on everybody's list, and we were like, who's this girl? Apparently was cast from the beginning. So we originally thought it was going to be a 15-person cast, so it was everybody pictured here minus Malaysia. But I am excited to see her, as you know, it's been a minute, like I said, since we've had Florida representation, and Florida, despite being a shit show of a state, does bring a lot of really, really great drag talent, I think specifically to Latrice Royale and Roxy Andrews. So
the entire Orlando area, with the exception of a couple of non-binary demon twinks, is a really great city for drag. Seven Nights Orlando.
Yeah, I think this cast is going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see it. We don't really have anything else on it, but these are the girls. Go follow them.
The girls. The girls, darling. The girls.
Go
the
follow
seagulls.
Not that. Whew. An hour and 40 minutes of Drag Race rumors.
I believe it was the great British poet laureate Adele who once famously said, "Rumor has it,
rumor
Rumor as it is what I'm leaving you for.
Copyright. Anyway.
She also once famously said, "Am I gonna collab with Peppa Pig? No."
Wow. No.
No.
Anyway, that has been our little rumor video. Will there be a follow-up to this video? Probably not.
Probably not.
I would be real. Our schedule is going to get a lot busier in the coming weeks. So if this is the first video you're watching of us, hi, welcome. We're kind of neurotic, just a little bit sometimes. But make sure to check out all of our other content. We're currently doing All-Star 7, All Winners, Eleganza, Extravaganza, Boost the House Down for Your Nerve, Social Strategy Race. We're doing Drag Race France. We will be doing Canada's Drag Race as soon as that comes out. Drag Race Down Under as soon as that comes out. All the other franchises coming this year and all the ones that we talked about in this video. So make sure to go check those out. Available on the channel. We also have a lot of reality TV content beyond that. Big Brother, Survivor, Amazing Race, The Bachelorette, other shows that I can't think of, The Circle, other shows that I can't think of at this point. But go check out all of our content. We also are a Eurovision channel, so if you are a Eurovision fan, stick around for our Eurovision content coming.
Eurovision Song Contest.
We did a whole thing for 2022.
We did a lot.
A lot. You didn't do a lot. I did a lot, and Sam did a lot. You were going to do a lot.
I was late to the party, but as Madame LeQueer once famously said, "But bitch, I was maid of honor."
Oh boy. Anyway, go follow us. Go follow the podcast everywhere at the @cup_reality for all the most up-to-date Cup reality news. And with that, Sasha Colby!
Sasha Colby!
And everybody else who made it on Drag Race. Good for you. Congratulations.
My uncle went clique.